What's going on, kids? Happy Monday. Let's do some Q&A here. I'm just gonna hold this thing. I think that's gonna be better so I don't muffle the audio too bad. Hope everybody's well. Let me make sure you can hear me okay. In fact, I might just jump off the Wi-Fi here for a sec because, there we go. Back on? Cool. I think just cellular is gonna be better out here. So, let's do some Q&A. Great questions that came in, I think in response to some questions that came up last week about two things, two completely different categories. One is if you're teaching, doing your own mastermind training, a lot of people, like I'd say 25 to 35% of mastermind students, and often e-course students, become clients for you in your done-for-you service. So let's say you're an expert at doing something, website building, branding, speaking, coaching, whatever, and you have an online course or mastermind about that, and we talk a lot about how we do that process. Ask questions. There's no secrets here. We're all in this together. And about 25 or 35% of the people who you teach in some form or fashion will become your clients for your done-for-you service too. What's up, Laura? Awesome to see ya. That's question number one. Is how do you make that upsell happen? How do you sell from an online course that you've already sold, or they're in a mastermind or teaching or training or coaching or consulting group, to actually become a done-for-you service client? Even though in some ways you've kind of just taught them what to do, a lot of people want you still to do it for them. The second question down here, I'm going to start with that one actually. The second question down here is how do you convert your clients' prospects to becoming their clients? So a lot of us are in the marketing or engagement process for our clients, right? We're helping them market to their prospects, and we need them to close the deal. If they don't close the deal, if the dental patient or medical patient doesn't come to the doctor and actually become a patient, then we don't look good as marketers, right? If the local restaurateur doesn't actually have people come in, no matter how good your posts are and how good their website is you built for them, they got to come in and do the deal. So the question was specifically around dental offices on this one, and that's really dialed in, but this applies to anybody and anything in any space. Ultimately, when you're in charge of helping your clients not just find prospects, but actually close them, you can totally do that, but you have to be pretty hands-on. So we actually teach our clients, their front desks, their salespeople, we teach them how to close. Like, we'll have little closing sessions. We'll actually have training sessions. We have a simple video process we go through with them, some basic scripting to help them understand what to do, and we help them learn how to close deals. All right? Because ultimately, you can bring your clients all the leads and business that you want to, but if they don't close the deals, you're gonna look like an idiot and they're gonna blame it on you. Even though it's not your fault. You might be doing fantastic marketing, but if they don't know how to close the deal, you can bring them, you can teach a man to fish is the way to do it, right? That's the whole quote about that. Don't just give him a fish, teach him to fish. But you can put a guy in a fantastic bass boat with the best rod and reel in a lake full of fish, but if the freaking guy can't fish, then you might have put him in a great place to succeed. It's not your fault. So to answer that question, we actually teach our front desks, if we're doing medical or dental, that kind of work, or we're bringing leads in for those kind of groups, we teach their front desk people how to sell, how to set the appointment. And then to be more specific about that question, I think this is where it's going to go, is we actually have them doing any outreach, any leads, any prospects, anybody on their list. We're having them actively. Yeah, you're doing texting and emailing and automated stuff, but we have a real person work through a real phone list. I don't know about you, but when it comes to going to the dentist, I just went to the dentist like 2 weeks ago. And I waited longer than I should have to go to the dentist. There was nothing wrong, didn't have any toothaches. They have to call me like 3 times for me to book an appointment because it's so boring. I don't want to be there. So when it comes to stuff like that, what's up, Joshua? When it comes to stuff like that, you just got to get in there and you got to do the work. And you got to teach your clients how to hustle, how to sell. You got to teach them how to close. Because again, you bring them awesome business, it doesn't mean they're actually going to do something with the awesome opportunities you bring them. All right, let's go after question 1 now. All right, and again, anybody, you feel free to ask questions as we go along here. My goal is to answer these questions and answer them thoroughly. So definitely ask questions as we go along so I can make sure that I get it right for you. So the mastermind thing, again, 25 to 35% of your mastermind students will want to buy your done-for-you service, assuming you offer a service. So, for instance, let's say you're a website designer, okay, or a copywriter, or a Facebook ads expert, and you've built an online course or mastermind, and I'm a big fan of building a mastermind first and letting that influence and create your online course, by the way. CN, hey, what's up? So if you've built your online course or mastermind, you're an expert in what you do and you want to teach, fantastic. You teach people, right? You have them come into your group. They're your ideal client. They're your avatar. They're the person you want to really reach. You're helping them understand how you do what we do. You're teaching them the secret sauce, right? But I didn't realize this until I got into teaching masterminds. And all of a sudden I realized 25 or 35% of my students and everybody else's mastermind want to take another step forward with you. And if you offer a done-for-you service, let's say you've taught how to do Facebook ads to coaches. So your mastermind teaches coaches how to do Facebook ads, let's say. Again, translate this to your own reality. Even though you've just taught them how to do everything, and you've even taught them how to have a staff member there to do everything, 25 or 35% of them will still say, awesome, thanks for the education, and can you just do this for us? Right? Which is amazing. So they've paid you to be in your mastermind, and now they want to pay you even more for you to do it for them. And they're already pre-qualified. You already know, like, and trust them. They know, like, and trust you. It's the most amazing thing ever. So the real catch is, how do you start the upsell process? And that's really a relational thing, and it's prepping. We're so busy. Do it for us. I know, right, Laura? It's so true. We all want to learn, and we all want to geek out and think we can be the expert in everything. But then when it comes down to it, we don't want to do it. It's so true. So, and I think that's a thing as we mature and grow. And I don't mean age, because I'm not aging. I don't know about y'all, but I'm definitely not. I think it's a thing as we mature and grow that our priorities shift maybe, and we realize, oh, we've just become more successful because of the training you've taught us, and now my time is worth more, and so I just simply know it's not worth my time. That's hopefully where your mastermind students go, is they get more successful, they realize their time is valuable, and they don't want to do it themselves anymore. So, all that to say, the selling process for selling your next thing to that 25 or 30% of the people who want to jump up to the next level for you starts early. You got to let them know, obviously, what your done for you agency does. As you present yourself, it's going to happen pretty naturally. As you present yourself as the expert and you show them your expertise, you're showing them the secret sauce. They know you know what you're talking about. That process right there builds so much connection and trust in what you do and how you do it. It's kind of like the ultimate, long-term dating relationship that just goes on forever. And then hopefully somebody makes a decision, right? The same way in a mastermind. They know you so well at that point. It's so easy for them to trust you and stay with you long-term in a done-for-you service type way. So that's how that works. So early on in the process, let people know that anyone, even in your mastermind groups, can work with you, but it's on a very selection-based process that you allow anybody to work with you, but there's a definite screening process, and there has to be a good fit, and that you're not trying to say, don't even hint that anybody in your mastermind could work with you. You're just saying, hey, we are taking clients, but we take them on a very, very specific, basis, and there's a very definite application process that goes with that. Just prepping them for the stepping up in the application in the future. And then allow them, by the way, I have a mastermind, and there's people in my mastermind watching these lives right now. And just so y'all all know, we don't offer a done-for-you service. There is no done-for-you service at the end of the rainbow here. We work with surgeons, and everybody in my mastermind is a marketer, teacher, coach, consultants, that kind of thing. So got nothing for you. I'm not showing you how I'm fixing to upsell you. This is just how you do it. So let them know early on that you have the done-for-you agency, which they probably already know about, and you do accept clients. They're going to be asking you about how you bring in clients anyway. They're going to ask you about your pricing. They're going to ask you all kind of things. Explain to them how it works, but make sure you keep that a little bit at arm's length where they don't have access to doing that, all right? And then towards the end of the mastermind, let them know, sorry, Laura, let them know that you are opening up one or two places, and that there is an opportunity for one or two more clients to come into your agency. And that's simply the way it works. When you do that, Laura, I wish we could work together forever. But hey, you're with us for a year. We're gonna have fun. So when you do that, you're gonna set this stage, and we're gonna have an opportunity to work with that one or two client space, and people will self-elect to be in there. Obviously, if you teach a larger group and you actually get a chance to speak from a stage and you have a larger following, then you can pressure launch something at a live event, or you can pressure launch it in an email sequence or something like that. Particularly if it's an e-course type product, a pressure launch works really well. If you don't know what that is, ask questions. We can talk about it another day or today, whatever. But ultimately, when it's coming from a mastermind, very high touch, very high influence, very high relationship value, very high execution value like masterminds bring, then just offering towards the end of your mastermind, letting people know, hey, there are 1 or 2 spaces available in our clientele, and we are taking applications. And for any of you who would like extra help in moving forward, our agency will get this done for you. You know the methodology now, you know how to do it, but if it's just not your thing, we got you covered, and we can go through the application process. But again, there's only 1 or 2 spaces, and we need to talk through that in a lot of intentionality and a lot of detail. So that's how that scripting goes, and that's how that process goes, and I drop a few hints like that, and that's where you go. I don't do it because my mastermind doesn't do that, but that's what I've coached those to do, and it works very effectively. So that's that. Laura, at least you refer to qualified resources, so we're covered. Yeah, Laura, so that's another thing for those of you who have masterminds or are building them or growing into that space. You know, for me, I know what I do well, and I know what my team does well, and I don't want to push people forward and become the one-stop shop for everybody, right? My goal is not to be everybody's 100% one-stop shop. My goal is to really get down to it and focus my skill set and my team's skill set in a way that allows us to use our resources very efficiently and without taking a lot of our time, while giving the best service to our clients and mastermind members. So to Laura's point there, we outsource a lot. When someone asks us to do something that was just simply not in our wheelhouse or our expertise, not one of the very few things we actually are experts at, we hand that off. There's just so many people out there who do a great job at it. And yes, we could collect a little more money if we did everything, but oh my gosh, how much of a headache in life do you actually want? How big do you want your agency to be? How much revenue do you actually need to be happy? At some point, making a lot of money is great, but there's only so much you really need. And then having a quality of life, having time for relationships, time in your community, time to, Blue's out there barking, y'all heard him a second ago, time to walk your dog in the park, time to pursue hobbies. That stuff is way more fulfilling. And, you know, hanging out with folks who are farther down the road than me has taught me that it's not about the money. Yeah, you gotta have money to have some basic stuff going, but it's really about the happiness. It's about the relationships and about the experiences. So it takes a lot of intentionality though when you're building a business to actually choose to put a governor on the money. When you figure it out and you know you've got a handle on it and you can turn the money thing up as high as you want, it's an interesting conversation to have to dial it back a little bit and choose that, because there's something about money that makes us want to keep going. Anyway, we're off the path here. Small but mighty is where it's at for me. Yes, Laura, absolutely agree. Laura, you and I are wired so similarly. I totally agree. You know, going for a hike in the mountains is worth a lot to me. And working 3 extra hours a day just so I can double my income is simply not worth that much to me. Just where you are in life, you know, kind of do your thing as you go. All right, I think I've answered those 2 questions. If there's no other questions, I'm gonna bail out of here. Enjoy your Monday. Y'all hear me say this frequently on Mondays, but if you don't have a plan for your week yet, if you don't have it time blocked out, if you don't know the big priorities you're gonna do, stop right now and get those priorities nailed down. Figure those things out, put them on your calendar, and get them done. If you need accountability, reach out to someone in this group or another entrepreneur you know, whatever it is, reach out to someone who you can say, hey, here's my weekly schedule. Here's what I'm doing just this week. The next week it might change, but this week, here's the stuff I gotta crush. Check with me on every day at the end of every day. Shoot me a text, ask, did I do these things? So I can be accountable. That's really, really, really important. Make sure you do that, and you're gonna crush it. Get out there, hit that work hard. Laura, see you in a few minutes. Talk to you soon, bye.